Hello children, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is your favorite biology master, Alan Godfrey. Welcome children. In this class, we are going to study about zoophily. What is called zoophily? Pollination by animals are called zoophily. Pollination by animals are called zoophily. So different types of zoophilies are present according to the organism to pollinate. They, according to that, the zoophily are differentiated into ornithophily, entomimophily, melitophily, malacophily, and chiropterophily. Like that, different kinds of zoophilies are present. What is called zoophily? Pollination by animals. According to the pollinating agent, according to that animal, the zoophily are divided into five types. We are going to see one by one detail. The first one is zoophily. Okay, the pollination by the agency of animal is called zoophily. Like that, flowers are called zoophilous. Zoophilous flowers, zoophilous plants, like that we used to say. But they are pollinated by animals, so they are called zoophily. That type of pollination is called zoophily. What is called pollination? The transfer of pollen from anther to stigma of the flower is called pollination. That pollination is done by animals is called zoophily. That zoophily occurs in some sort of plants. That type of plants are called zoophilous plants or zoophilous flowers. So usually large animals like lemurs, like the primates. Okay, primates means mammals and monkey, they are coming under primates. Okay, here the lemur, some of the rodents, arboreal rodents, then reptiles, gecko lizard and garden lizard, they used to visit the flower to eat the pollen. So some of the fleshy part present in the flower is also there. They used to go and eat that part in that time. Okay, the pollen will be stick on there, surrounding the mouth area, the pollen will be stick on. When they are moved to the other flower and try to eat the petals or the uh, some pollens also they may be eat. Okay, so edible pollens are there. Okay, when they are go and eat that, automatically the surrounding their mouth, no, that pollen will be fall on the flower and do the pollination. After that, fertilization will be occur, seed formation. That is all the next stage. Okay, then here the second one is ornithophily. Ornithophily means pollination by birds. So the pollination occurs by wind, or pollination occurs by water. Already last class we studied. Okay, in this class, okay, we are studying enema, zoophilus. Okay, pollination by animals. Okay, that some of the reptile, then mammals also pollinating. Here the birds also pollinating. How the birds are pollinating? The hummingbird and all, you used to know, they used to come fly in the flight stage itself. They send their beak and observe the suck the nectars from the flowers. Okay, so usually that type of flowers are little bit large flowers. Then only the birds can come and take the nectars. Okay, so not only that, they are cup-like structure. They are secreting more nectars. Then only the birds can come and send their beak and they can able to collect the nectars. So they are brightly colored. So because of that color, the birds are attracted and go and take the nectars from that flowers. Kima, but they are odorless flowers. No smell is there. Okay, no smell is there. So usually that insect won't visit on that flower. So usually these birds and go and take the nectars Okay, they are especially go to collect the nectars only. They are like the nectars to go and take the nectar. In that time, in their beak and surrounding the beak area, usually the pollen will be stick on. Okay, when they are moved to the next flower, in that time, okay, the stigma will be touch on that pollen maze. Automatically there is a pollination will be occurs. Okay, so in this type of flowers, usually the floral part is little bit leathery, little bit tough. Okay, then only it can able to cope up with the birds, otherwise it will be easily damaged. Okay ma. So this type of pollination or pollination by the birds are called ornithophily. Pollination by the birds are called ornithophily. Then Cherapterophily. Okay, Cherapterophily. Okay, for understanding purpose, I'll put the apostrophe. Cherapterophily. The same word only. Cherapterophily. So the pollinating is carried out by bats. Okay, usually in the night time, the bats usually come and eat the fruits or the fleshy part of the flower or the petals. Sometimes some it also send their tongue and usually take the nectars from the flower. Okay, when they go and take the pollen or nectar or anything, in that time what happen? No, the surrounding their mouth area, usually the pollen grain will be come and stick on. When they are moved to the next plant, automatically what happen? That will be that pollen will be fall on the stigma. Automatically the pollination will be occurs. This type of pollination is called Cherapterophily. Okay, the pollination by birds are called Cherapterophilous pollination. Okay ma. So that type of plants are called Cherapterophilous plant or Cherapterophilous flowers. Okay, so for example, Elijah africana, Adansonia digitata, these are the plants usually pollinated by the birds. Some other plants also there. So the plants pollinated by bats are called Chiropterophilus flowers. Okay, that type of pollination is called Chiropterophily pollination or Chiropterophily. Okay, then next one is called Malacophily. Okay, Malacophily is nothing but the pollination by some of the annelid like snail, slug, that and all. Okay, what is the difference between snail and slug? Okay, you can see the picture. Okay, the snail has a shell over that. The shell is there, that is called snail. If the shell is absent, that type of organism, this is called slug. Okay, slug doesn't have the shell, snail have the shell. Okay, so if the shell is there, that is snail. So when they are crawling over that lamina of the leaf flower in that area, when they are crawling, automatically in their foot or the body part or the head, because it's the body is covered by the mucus layer. Okay, so to avoid dryness. Okay, in that mucus, automatically the pollen grains are stick on that mucus. When they are stick on, automatically it will be moved to the another flower. Okay, so usually in the water flowers and all, they come and crawl through that area. In that time, the pollen will be fall on the stigma. Okay, Araceae family, that the all okay usually pollinated by the slug and snail. Okay, Malacophily. So the snail also involved in pollination. Okay, snails, slugs, and all also involved in the pollination. So when their type of pollination is occurs by the snail, that type of pollination is called Malacophily. That type of pollination is called Malacophily. Then, so another one is there, entomophily. Okay, entomophily means the pollination by insects. Pollination by insects. Usually, most of the pollinations are occurs only by the insects. Okay, so they are called entomophily. Suppose sometimes here in the picture you can see inside the picture, okay, ants are there. Ants usually go and take the nectars, okay. So when they are take the nectars and drink the nectars and come out, okay, in their part also some of the small hair like structures and all present. When you see under the microscope, we can see dissection microscope, we can see there and all the pollination is occurs there, and all the pollen will be stick on when they are moved from one flower to here one flower to it move on to the another flower. The stigma is there. In that stigma, the pollen will be stick on. Okay, the pollination is occurs. This type of pollination is called nama Myrmecophilous. Myrmecophily. Okay, so in the Myrmecophily, what happened? The pollination by ants. Okay, pollination by ants is called Myrmecophily. Okay. Apart from that, some many insects are there. Okay. For example, wasps is they are flies, butterflies, moth. Some other bees are there, beetles are there. They are also involved in the pollination. Okay. So that type of pollination is called entomophily. That type of pollination is called entomophily. Okay. So insects, bees are the main flower vectors and dominant pollinators. In some of the country, they used to import the butterflies. Okay, import the butterflies. Okay, the containers of butterfly they import, and they used to fly, leave the butterfly in their gardens. Okay, what happened? They are very large scale gardens. Apple trees are there. So when they are go and sit on the flower and take the nectars, okay, usually the butterfly go and take the nectars, okay, in their body, the pollen will be stick on. So it will be pollination will be occurs. Pollination is very important for the propagation of the next generation of the plants. Okay, not only that, then only the fruits and all will be forms. Okay, here you can see one beetle, okay, fully covered by pollen. Okay, when they are visit the plant flower, okay, so entire pollen will be stick on their body here also. Okay, when they are moved into the another plant, okay, what happen? Automatically they will be fall on the stigma. What will be happen? Automatically pollination will be occurs. Pollination, then post pollination changes, the seed formation, fruit formation, everything will be occurs. Okay, ma. So mostly the insects and bees are the dominating pollinators. They only do the pollination in 90% or 95% of the pollination occurs by the bees and insects. Okay, so mostly majority of the angiosperms depending on this insect for their pollination. Okay, this type of pollination is called endomophily. Okay, this type of pollination is called endomophily. Okay, so here some of the pollinating flowers, okay, have some peculiar character. Okay, for the entomophilous phylli, uh, is a pollination done by the insect. So pollination done by the insect, for that some of the flowers should be having some peculiar characters. So that is called entomophilous. Flowers may pollination by insects by in some flowers, no, that flowers are called entomophilous flowers. Okay, so they have show some peculiar character. What are the peculiar character? Usually the flowers are large flowers. Okay, if it is a very small flowers, the insect may be neglect or it won't be find the flowers. So the flowers usually it is bigger flower. It should be brightly colored to attract the insect. Okay, to brightly colored. Okay, so they usually spend the fragrance. Okay, it usually send the scent to attract the flowers, and it secretes more amount of um, nectars. When they are secreting more amount of nectars, especially for the nectars, they select the flower. Okay, in this flower, more nectars are there. We can go and visit there. Okay, like that, they used to come and collect the nectars. Hima. So when they come, the pollen or stick on their body. Okay, so whenever that insect will become, okay, that entomophilus usually give the feast for the insect. Okay, so they used to give the nectar for the flower insect. Okay, ma. Then not only that, okay, some of the pollen also edible. Okay, so automatically they will become and take the nectars as well as they eat the pollen. Okay, in that time, more pollen will be stick on their body. So when it is moved to the another plant, okay, the pollination is occurs. Apart from the nectars, okay, some of the juicy cells also present in the flowers. Okay, because of that, okay, they supply more juicy substance. So for all the purpose, usually the endomophily is occurs or the nectar insect will be come and collect the nectars and eat the pollen and take the juicy cells. For that, okay, it comes in that time the pollen stick on their body, so pollination is also occurs, mutually benefited. Both the plant as well as insects are mutually benefited. These are the characteristic feature of endomophilous flowers or endomophilous. Okay, ma. So now in this model we complete the zoophily. We complete the zoophily. Okay. Thank you. All the best. God bless you, children. Thanks for watching this video, children. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel for latest videos and updates. Click on the bell icon to get notified on new videos.